It's Thursday the 28th of April. I have Prikken today. Plan is, so far as I can get through everything, the mucking and everything, the plan is to actually do some polls with her today, so we'll see how that goes. So I've done everything at the inside the barn, all the chores and everything. We have the vet here. She's gonna do some dental stuff on some of the horses. I'm not sure how much I can film while I'm like brushing and tacking up. We'll see. And yeah, getting prickies. So I'm going to catch a prick. No, not that kind of prick. It's definitely necessary to have treats, especially when she has hay. You definitely don't need the hay in the stable right now because you've been eating. Yeah. Hello, treaty? Yeah, good girl. Yeah, you're such a good girl. Yummies. Just to clarify, I don't need the treats to catch her. I just wanted to train her to get to me or come to me. I doubt I can do it, but we'll try. So it's 5 minutes to 12 now. We just did like a really quick brush and tack up, just so I didn't film a lot. But she did get her groom. But now we're going down to the arena and just leading her because I don't see the point in getting on just to get off again, to get on again. So leading her down, and we're gonna put out some poles. So this will be fun. It's the first time she's like had real poles. Last time I did it, we just had some old fence posts. So let's do this voiceover and welcome to the most perfect pony in the whole world that just stands there waiting for me while I set up the camera. So I started off in walk, just walking over these yellow poles. She's never seen these before and she was like, "What the heck is this?" And wasn't very confident going over them. I was just riding her on a long rein or semi-long rein, just letting her just have a look. And as you can see, her confidence grew quite quickly, although it's not very straight, but still. And we did that both ways, letting her lift her legs. Which is a challenge for her with her arthritis. She wants to drag both her hind legs. So then I trotted her, just rising trot on a semi-long rein, letting her like decide how she wanted to carry herself, changing the rein a lot so that she will warm up on both sides of her body. And yeah, just starting to ask for a little bend. Can't just ride around with our nose in the air just because we're doing poles. So then I did some sitting trot on the left rein, asking for bend. This is her best rein, So I start with this to give her like a positive experience when we start out, because she's a little diva, and if she doesn't like something, she will put the handbrake on and say, I am done. So I start on the left rein to get her to work with me. Yeah, she was moving quite good on the left rein. The right rein was a different story today. She wanted to take hold of the right rein, which was the inner rein, and just tip her nose to the inside, not bend through her body and neck. And what I did was I rode around asking her to move forwards and using a lot of inside leg and leading with my inside hand to ask for the bend, and it got slightly better as we moved along, but she needed to get warmer in her body first. So I started trotting over these poles. Just the whole thing was just to keep straightness, just keeping my leg on. She spooked, and I was like, okay, we're not gonna go over the poles like that. So I did a little circle, or 20-minute circle, and then we did them again, and she was like, I can do this, it's easy. So yeah, so she was very, very good over the poles. Did them both ways, of course, because you need to engage both ends of the brain in horses. So yeah, so we did them that way as well. And yeah, in between I used to ask for a little bit of an extension down the longer end of the arena. Not that she can extend a lot, but it's just simply to get them to move off your leg, move forwards, think forwards, because she has a tendency to break when she finds that she has to concentrate. So then in walk, I did the poles on the bend, or a fan of poles. It's not so visible on camera, but they were in a fan shape. So she did them perfectly in walk, so I tried trot straight away after that, and she did really well. She clonked a little bit, but like, and the point with the fan poles, the good thing about them is that you can decide whether or not, if you have a horse that's not so forward, have shorter strides, you can ride on the inside of the circle first and then go out like I did here on the outer side of the circle. So like you can see now I'm like aiming for the outer side of the poles, so she has to take longer strides. So it's a really good exercise for horses, and several poles like this is very good for Prikken because of her arthritis, making her have to move and lift her hind legs. And on the right rein I had more problems keeping her outer side bent around the inside leg. So here we are doing an exercise that is trot poles and then a halt in between the poles, and this I halted a bit late here. As you can see, I'm almost at the pole, so I couldn't get her to trot before the last pole, which was the point. So here I'm much more prepared. Ride in, start doing a half halt and then a halt pretty soon. She's like, and the point is that they have to stand still and then forwards, and then they should be going forwards in trot before the poles. And she, of course, stepped on the pole. So it wasn't the best. Now I'm going to start with the canter, and I didn't have the highest expectations because we haven't cantered a lot in the arena since last autumn, just once. And she did really well. She took the left canter lead really well. And the reason for the skip here is because I had it zoomed in and now I have it zoomed out. But like, her left canter is really good. It's actually a lot better than it was in the autumn, so I'm really, really happy about it. And I left some of it in because it's not often that you get to see me canter. Or Prikken's canter. She's so cute. And then I wanted to do the poles. So here you can see her canter transitions. They're not as good. She sort of breaks into the transition, so she stops when you give her the signal. but we'll work on it. So I just did one pole and rode on the outside of the second one, because after her having stepped on the pole when I did the exercise before, I was a little bit worried. But like just having her canter over a pole, then the whole way around the arena. Of course, she broke the canter here, but still, that is a huge thing for her. So I gave her a pet, because I was like, it's not your fault. So we did another transition. She's been so good today with the transitions. And went to the first pole again. Little bit stepped on that again. She wasn't happy, as you could see. She's like shaking her head and like, ew. So we did it again. Wanted her to have good experiences. And yeah, that was perfect. So we then changed the rein to right, and right canter is the worst canter, and it's very stiff. But she actually did the transition correctly on the first go, which is like big star, because she doesn't do that normally. She just does left canter on the right rein. So here I rode around the first pole and over the second instead, because it's very difficult to bend her and keep the canter during the short end of the arena in the right canter, since she's weaker on that rein. So yeah, so just cantered, and yeah, she's doing some disjointed stuff here. So now she's on the right one, but then she swaps just the front or just the back. But she was very eager, as you can see here, and she wanted to canter, even though I didn't really give the transitions then, so it wasn't like it was disjointed. So here it's correct, and we went over the first pole instead, and I just managed actually to keep the canter on this little turn, which is amazing. It has never happened before. So yeah, so we just did the pole. Just wanted to give her some like good experiences. And then yeah, I think I just did it one final time. I want everything. I think the like second to last, she was a bit far off. Here she goes disjointed again. No, she didn't, sorry. But here we get it correct and on like a good striding in. So I stopped there. So then I just trotted the poles a couple of times more, just to see if she would lift her legs a little bit more, if it was easier for her now that she was warmer in her body, which it was. And you can also see, well, this is the left rein, but she's much more supple as well after the canter. So I was very pleased with that. And yeah, then I just gave her a little longer rein, tried to give her ride her long or low, but it doesn't really work on Prikken. And I trotted her off, and then we walked off and cooled down, and that's all for today. So that went beyond expectation. Like, she was so good today. I mean, yeah, she wasn't as good in the warm-up. She held on to the right rein a lot, but like, oh my god, she did like the left canter so well, and I could really ride her much better than the last time I started her, which was in August after the summer break. She was so much better now, and of course the right canter isn't very good. It's more like sitting on a barrel going over a waterfall. You think she has like disjointed canter all the time, which she doesn't, I think. I hope so. Yeah, so, and there were some fails, like her like changing, going from like right to left canter. I won't say she did like a flying change or anything, because that can't be called that. It was basically her like balancing herself. Me not seeing distances was a thing, and we were clonking onto some poles a lot. Like, sometimes I wonder like if she has a problem concentrating or what it is, because she was like, when I was trotting over the yellow poles and I trotted over the first one, did a halt or a walk transition, and then went forwards, and she was like bobonk, so clumsy, and I was like, what's going on? Can't you remember there was a pole there, or what is it? So or maybe I just broke her concentration with the transition. Maybe it was too much for her at like the first or second pole work session in probably a ton of years. But she did really well, and I'm very pleased with how she did like the poles on the bend as well. She did like clonk a little bit, but like she did actually get it, and she wasn't too hesitant, so I'm really happy with her. I mean, it wasn't perfect because, I mean, we're not perfect, and like I said, it's the second time we do any poles, but she's so good, and she thought it was so much fun, and she was like, it's canter, it's canter, it's canter, and I was just like, I had like thought maybe trotting a little bit, but you know, if you want to canter, by all means. And she's so cute, and she's so eager, and yeah, woo. And a little spook. So I'm gonna put you guys away now, and then I have to tidy up the poles and stuff, but she was so good, can't get over it. Oh, I love her so much. She's been standing there while I cleaned up the poles, so she's like, I can't move, I'm pretty sure. Kom on! Jo, så flink jente. Och så duktig. Ja, så flink. And we serve up realness on this channel, like real life, absolutely covered in hair. Well, not too bad, but we are done for today. She's kind of brushed some sponges, and yeah, I cleaned up most of the mess. Couldn't film much because they were fixing one of the horse's teeth at this point, so there were like lots of stuff happening, but it's such a good girl, she's so happy. Woo. We had a really good day. Of course it's gonna be finished with refusal to move. You done? She's like, food, more treats, no more treats. You can go now. She's like, more treats. Hello, you're so cute. I have no idea what I'm filming. You can go now. Yeah. She's like, okay, maybe I'll move. Are you sure you don't have any more treats? Are you sure? I am sure, actually. No more treats for you. You also had hay. So you don't have to look at me like that. So I almost forgot to do an outro, so here goes. If you like this video, please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!